How's it going, everybody? Another month has gone by, and quite a lot has happened. And also, probably not a lot has happened. Uh, we're here to cover it to some extent, as usual, give our predictions of the major eight categories. I am actually joined as ever by AJ and Owen, and yeah, um, I guess Toronto didn't want to go as inspired this year as they did last year.
I do think it's interesting what that maybe says about Hamnet as far as because I was having this conversation with Owen and he was a little upset by that choice because I think you're imagining like a very generic period piece.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm thinking when you look at the other TIFF winners, they all seem to have, or like the most recent ones seem to have like a crowd pleaser kind of angle to them, to where I don't think if it was just a generic period piece, it would have won that. So I'm wondering if it's got like a different kind of energy we're not expecting, or and I wonder if it seems that way, if it's kind of being misread and there's something a little more to it as far as like its style or something that would appeal in a sort of mass way, which
Then
which is only going to do so much better for it in the long run.
then we fast forward a couple months later, and your response is, "No, that's exactly what it is," and I still don't understand why everybody thought the way they did.
Could be, or it could be like just an emotional powerhouse that
Possible.
that could get a lot of investment.
I mean, the book is pretty highly regarded. Um, and the fact, as we mentioned, that Maggie, the author herself, co did co-wrote the script with Zhao. So I don't know how much was, you know, direct adaptation and how much was Zhao sort of switching it here and there. Not entirely sure, but yeah, it's. But the fact that you've got that, Del Toro's Frankenstein, and Wake Up Dead Man as the top three, as there's nothing there that I would have said is a surprise making it in there.
It does.
Compared to some previous years where sort of there's been at least one that sort of hasn't really been on the radar.
It's interesting how different and regarded the TIFF audience is. Because in any other scenario, I would not care at all about an audience award.
Certainly.
But with it being TIFF, it's like I actually got even more hyped for Frankenstein and Wake Up Dead Man when that was announced. And obviously my hype for Wake Up Dead Man's already like I'm going to explode already. It's-
But
it
then
helps.
the other little interesting touch I think on the international front is, at least again because it's people's choice, Park Chan Wook's No Other Choice actually beat out Sentimental Value, the one that had at least a lot of early momentum. I don't think it appeared in any of my stuff, but I think it was in both your guys' predictions, at least for August. So,
Sure.
and then of course the most important one, Matt Johnson's Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, getting the Midnight Madness People's Choice Award. Yes, that's how you follow up Blackberry. You do the movie based on the little skit that you did. I only know because of their Wii Nintendo Wii Update Day video. um, Among other things. Then I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember back to Venice as well because that also got declared. Yeah, Jim Jarmusch's father, mother, sister, brother winning that one.
I don't think that's going to do anything to the awards race, but as a forever Jarmusch fan, that made me so happy.
Yeah.
I don't think it means anything awards wise, but I love that, and I love that for him.
Well, I feel it's probably going to be a strong contender, at least in spirits, probably. Especially because it's a
Yeah,
movie. It's a movie distributed thing rather than anybody else. And then I'm trying to remember if they added. I think they put the London Film Festival. Uh, if I can find it. Oh, BFI London Film Festival. Got to get it right. So 100 Nights of Heroes closing. Based on it's a graphic novel. Okay. Wake Up Dead Man's opening. Rental Famler is the gala, and then I guess these would be British premieres. So After the Hump, Ballad of a Small Player, Blue Moon, Begonia, Choral, Lynn Ramsey's Die My Love. She's back again. Del Toro's Frankenstein, Hamnet, H is for Hawk. Again, is a pretty well-regarded book. Hermanus' History of Sound. Is This Thing On? It Was Just an Accident. J. Kelly. Mastermind. No Other Choice. Nouvelle Vague. Oh, so Linklater's got both in. Okay. Being greedy. Pillion, which is the Skarsgård one. Roofman, Sentimental Value, and the Springsteen movie. Damn, that's a good load of gala listing. And that doesn't even include, what we already previously mentioned, because they announced it ahead of time, the ones that are actually in competition with Mark Jenkins' new film and the Header and Testament of Anne Lee, among others as well. So it's looking good. Oh, and buried away in the thrill section is The Secret Agent. So that's also getting its UK showing there. Which will be, by the time we get to our next predictions at the end of October, we'll know what happened there and whether there's anything that can do well in the actual competition section that can get influence through, considering there are a few that have at least been on a few people's radars, including me with the mentions that I have of Testament of Anne Lee. And then the other little bit, kind of unsurprisingly considering the director in question, but Iran didn't decide to nominate It Was Just an Accident for its submission. Instead, it is Cause of Death Unknown, a drama about it just says before dawn, 7 passengers are taken a side road when cause of death unknown occurs. Well, that's not confusing at all. Also, it got debuted at the Shanghai Film Festival in June of 2023, so I don't know how 2025 it actually is, but there we go. I will probably get a full idea of what gets submitted there in the next few days, because I think October the 1st is final submissions, because the UK has not submitted an entry yet. So we'll see if there's any usual suspects there. Other from that, I know we don't want to go into review territory because that's coming, but dare I say PTA's film is probably in our list now.
I would say to not go into review territory, there's going to be plenty of elements, individual elements of that movie that are going to come up as we go.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I'll say is something I told AJ earlier today. And the best way to describe it without saying anything further, I guess you can say I went from one Bob to another.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sensei.
Wes Anderson.
So,
Anyway.
this is actually a nice segue because of the first category we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I will say one thing that is relevant to adapted screenplay, which is where we start. I've been, and I didn't let this influence what I said, but it's something I've been kind of asking for. I have been saying that I feel like the life of Chuck should be in this a lot more.
Right.
And I think it came out too early, and Neon was very flippant about its release. And it is essentially not only did it disappear, but you have to have been here in the first place to disappear. So it just feels like it never existed, which is a shame since it's like a top movie of the year quality wise. But at the LA Comic Con Scream panel, Matthew Lillard did say that The Life of Chuck is getting re released in October specifically for awards consideration.
As it should.
I don't know what that'll do, if anything. It might be too little too late given the competition. But I would love for it to come in for like screenplay and for Mark Hamill to get some attention. But I also Flanagan for every category he's eligible for. Um, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be fantastic if it did, and that's my only comment on that.
The response I'll give you on this is the fact that I also, when you brought that up to me earlier today, I heard a flippant comment about the fact that it was getting another re release, which is great because its trajectory started out interesting because it was a secret movie.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes secret movies are to build anticipation, and sometimes secret movies are, well, let's throw it to the wall and see if it sticks. And I didn't get any walkouts when I watched Life of Chuck. And without saying anything and revealing my dice roll, if you will, I will state that Life of Chuck is definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. So much so, I think I said last time that there's a very good possibility that all three King adaptations in one way, shape, or form may end up on my top 10 list for the year, and that's very probable at this point. Because I can't go against Edgar Wright. I mean, there's no way I'm going to do that. But so we've already got 2 out of 3, so there you go. But it would be great to get an audience for it. Just like I keep talking about Bob Trevino, and I'm going to continue to talk about Bob Trevino, but the thing is, it's like it didn't have an audience, and I hope Life of Chuck finds an audience of voters, so it actually gets it into this race like it belongs.
Yeah, because what we were just talking about with the TIFF award, it's like when you watch The Life of Chuck, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was like it came out of nowhere, but when you actually see the movie, it's like, yeah, this is definitely a crowd pleaser. But we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if they botched the new release too, or the re-release too.
Wouldn't be shocking.
Yeah. So, do we go into adapted?
We do.
All right. I made one change. I had Ballad of a Small Player in here. That's what I took out. And I know No Other Choice is starting to get a little momentum in places like this, especially. But I didn't go there either. There was one movie that I wasn't on board with, and I said, oh, we'll wait and see what happens. And lo and behold, people are going fucking nuts for it. So that's the first movie alphabetically on my lineup now, which is Begonia. I probably should have gone with Begonia to begin with, but I just had to be sure because you can never tell with Lanthimos. It's either going to be something really big or it's going to be a very select group of people who love this, but it's not for everyone. But when we've seen with the favorite and Poor Things, when they go for Lanthimos, they go for Lanthimos in a big way. So this sounds like it could be one of those also. The others I already had here: Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Wake Up Dead Man, and Wicked. I know Some people might argue Wicked being here in the place of something like No Other Choice or something, but I we were talking before about how they'll probably go for Wicked in a big way here, and more or less repeat last year with it. It didn't make this category last year, but I feel like it was like six, maybe seven in this category last year. So if they really go for it this time, I could see that pretty easily. I think Hamnet won't. So that's where I'm at for adapted.
Uh, couple a couple of switches for mine. One Battle Another has officially moved in. Um, and yeah, I've also decided to stick in Wake Up Dead Man. So Wicked moves out and the Lost Bus moves out. And the other three are still Begonia, Frankenstein, and Hamnet. But that sort of flipping all over the place. Now, having seen this sort of first official clip of Jeremy Allen White as Springsteen, let's say we might be getting to him later on. But if if Scott's done a good enough script and adapt, because I think he write it as well as direct. I think. I need
Not
to
sure.
check. Because he usually does good jobs with his scripts. Let me just double check.
While you're checking, plus it's we were saying last time how A Complete Unknown showed that
Mm-hmm.
the musical biopic is absolutely not dead when it comes to the awards race. So
Yeah, yeah.
like
He
it,
did.
the
Scott did.
general public can be worn out on it, but the Academy still loves that shit. So
It's
Yeah,
both, Ashley.
yeah. Scott did write and direct. So
Yep. Well, look what happened when he did that last time. It did quite well for him, so I feel that it's probably
yeah,
going to be lightning strike twice.
especially because it does feel like uh, music biopics or musicals are sort of more often than not guaranteed at least one or more spots, at least when we get to the best picture list. So
You can definitely see like the crazy heart in Deliver Me from Nowhere when you would just watch the trailer. So you can definitely tell 1,000,000% it's Scott Cooper.
but yeah, those are my five.
Through gritted teeth. Don't worry, I'm not starting it yet. You know what I'm going to say before I say it. AJ and I already had this conversation earlier today. I want the Life of Chuck in here, and unfortunately, I had to move it out. Now I know what you're asking, Owen. Did you finally get on the Hamnet bus? And I'm like, well, yes and no. I guess you can say I kind of have a limited pass on the Hamnet bus, but I'm not a full-fledged member quite yet.
I also feel like it's passive aggressive that while every other movie gets a train, apparently Hamlet only gets a bus.
I just decided to choose bus this time around. It's a small movie, so it's a small bus. It's okay. Best adapted screenplay, I continue to have Begonia, The Smashing Machine, Deliver Me from Nowhere, and Wicked for Good. And yes, moving into that spot, I said I switched from one Bob to another. And yes, PTA, you're now in my lineup. One battle after another is my last slot.
Don't get upset when I ask you this.
Oh, dear God.
Is the Smashing Machine not original?
Okay, here's the thing. The Smashing Machine is an original take based on I guess it was like an article that, so technically speaking, it is adapted.
I mean,
That's where the story of Mark Hurt comes from.
I think it was a
So,
documentary, to be fair.
yeah, and
Yeah, it was
honestly,
an HBO documentary, so it might be sort of adapting that to some extent as
I
well.
will say right now that I don't think it's been officially declared. Like a lot of things this season already, it's not officially been declared if it's adapted or original.
So it's going through what Foxcatcher went through.
Exactly same concept.
I mean, for all we know, we're doing all this argument, and then all of a sudden WGA will go, "Yeah, it's not. It's neither. We're not allowing it in."
1,000,000% confirmation. It's based on the documentary from 2002.
Well, speaking of, does that put us in original?
That does put us in original.
Okay, so I'm looking at 5 here, and I've literally, the whole time we've been here, wondering if I want to keep that 5th slot where it is.
I got one I'm staring at.
Because there's 4 I'm comfortable with pretty much, and there's that other slot. Where
I feel like I'm
a lot of so many possibilities for that slot.
Tell me about it.
So I may predict this in real time. It's also my first slot alphabetically, so I can't say the others to kill time. So what I had that I actually still have, that was my plan going into this. I was just going to keep it there. It's if I had legs, I'd kick you. But that news about it was just an accident kind of fucks me a little bit because my plan was for it to get into international and picture, and that was it. Because I still think it's in picture. Spoiler. But I feel like it's got to have one more thing to get in there. Maybe not. It could just be a picture and that's it. Precedent is broken all the time. But I kind of really want to put Jarmusch in there after what happened. And to be totally honest with you, I still haven't made a choice yet. But all those options are quite tempting. So I say this: my other 4 are still J. Kelly, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. So there's that.
Seems pretty solidified right now, at least right this early.
I feel like I've seen a little bit of cooling off on J. Kelly, but I feel like that'll probably come back. So I didn't touch J. Kelly very much.
I don't see it.
Actually, I didn't touch it at all. It's exactly where it was last time.
Right.
Damn it. I guess I will replace If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You with It Was Just an Accident. I don't really want to, but I guess I'm going to. I'd really love if it was Jarmusch. I don't think, unless I'm forgetting something, Jarmusch hasn't been nominated before. I don't remember him being nominated before, but I feel like it's one of those things that has to have happened at some point. It's like the Paul Schrader VODs when First Reformed was in the race. That's the reason I never dropped Paul Schrader, no matter what anybody said, that whole year, because it would have been his first one, and that's what happened. So, yeah, but I'm gonna go with It Was Just an Accident on top of J. Kelly, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Jarmusch has not been nominated so far.
Need to fix it.
His
We
moving
really need
image collection is held at the Film Archive of the Academy. That's about it, sadly. I'm also calling a last minute audible as well. I'd already moved out Choral and Testament of Anne Lee. But I think so I do mention it at least at some point in case something happens with it, depending how it does and considering how well it was received at its showings. I have House of Dynamite, Jay Kelly, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. So yeah, Sinners and Jay Kelly are the only things that remain, and to be honest, I might have ousted both of those for Weapons and Is This Thing On, yet alone The Secret Agent. There's a lot here that something might happen with. It's that crowded this year. Sometimes I feel like we're reaching for sort of both screenplays, but I feel there's enough contenders in both that there's going to be possibly a lot of switching and changing over the upcoming months.
Is This Thing On looks great. I've seen that trailer several times, and it just looks fantastic. Obviously, I'm a big comedy guy. I still go to the comedy club and everything like that. I'm going to see Damon Wayans Jr. in a couple of months, actually, so looking forward to that.
This is Bradley Cooper's movie?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Will Arnett's movie.
Yeah.
When we get to the end, I'll quickly run through, what films are coming out for the month of October, because dear Lord, there's way more awards contenders in October than previous years, I feel.
Movie days are going to be fun.
There's more awards.
Fun on Monday.
So many more awards contenders in October than there are horror movies, which I can't wrap my head around.
Well,
but,
when you've got The Strangers Chapter 2, why would you want to make a horror movie? Because that embarrasses horror movies.
Not wasting my time. Not even worth it. Pray at Night was fun, and we don't need prequels to tell us what we don't need to know. It killed the ghoul. It's killed the strangers. Credits. So, original screenplay has not changed one bit. I still have If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Jay Kelly, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
All right. Oh, God, this category. This category is so dreaded every year. Last time, in August, I was like, hey, this category is better than it usually is. Now I feel about like we usually feel about it. So okay. So we have two possibilities for sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people seem to be just doubling up on it. I'm feeling one or the other, and I keep going back and forth. But I'm gonna stick with Elle Fanning, who I had last time.
It's the one I'm hearing more often.
And then we're gonna go Ariana Grande, I guess. This one gets interesting. Talking about one movie having multiple choices. So apparently a lot of people's top choice for One Battle After Another is Teyana Taylor. That is her name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. From 1001. That's how I remember her. She's strong, but her screen time surprised me. So, but again, we're coming off of Isabella Rossellini being in this category. So, but Isabella Rossellini had the veteran status, and they hadn't been nominated yet status, so that probably helped her a lot. Because again, another person we could talk about with One Battle After Another that was getting buzz ahead of time was Regina Hall, who, once again, is very strong, but there's not a lot here for her.
No.
There's a couple of standout scenes, but I didn't get nominated vibes from it.
No.
So there is a third option who for some reason seems to be the lowest of these three, as far as the conversations I've seen, as far as possibilities here. Chase Infinity.
Yes.
Who basically becomes a leading character. And basically for the third act is, you could almost say, the star of the movie.
For sure.
Why is she not getting talked up more? On top of the fact that she has the narrative of this being her first movie? That says an awful lot to me. And holding her own with both DiCaprio and Penn. And not only that, it's DiCaprio and Penn both taking it up to 11.
Right.
This is amped up DiCaprio and amped up Penn, and this is what she's sharing the screen with, and holds it in her first movie. And she's young. So I'm gonna say her, as well as, fingers crossed, Amy Madigan. I saw a whole conversation about this, and I guess we're getting at that stupid stage now where everybody's saying, anybody else think Weapons is overrated?
Oh
We're
my god.
inevitably we're at that point now. And now that it's also an awards conversation, we're probably gonna hear that more often. But fuck them. I'm gonna
Yes.
hope that we stick with this. She's already iconic, possibly getting her own movie, regardless of how you feel about that. I'd be all in on this if it happened, which is great.
Right.
The person I took out was Iowa Debris because After the Hunt seemed to really crash and burn after people saw it. So luckily I didn't go very hard on it last time. So there's still other choices here we talked about before. Gwyneth Paltrow, I still can't, I don't know. We're completely fucking blind to Marty Supreme for another 3 months. I don't know what to do with it. And I
There's
don't
at least
know.
the trailer, which is something. Doesn't help you,
Yeah.
but it can help.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But there's also Wami Masaku for Sinners as a possibility. As a swing for the fences, as kind of a left turn, last time I said Emily Watson for Hamnet. I'm just gonna keep Emily Watson. I can't explain. I mean, obviously Hamnet's building in momentum. Still not really hearing much about her, but I don't know. I can't convince myself to go with anybody else, so I'm just gonna stick with Emily Watson and see what happens. So if that was too cluttered, I'll sum it up here. Elle Fanning, Ariana Grande, Chase Infinity, Amy Madigan, Emily. Because, frankly, at the end of the day, I don't fucking know. That's what it adds up to.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I have. I feel one battle after another is getting at least something. And I've also gone with Chase over Tayana for this time round. But, that could be a spot where, it's that's the film. It depends who they want to go with if they don't want to go with both. Along with that, I have Emily Blunt for Smashing Machine, Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good, Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme, and to at least still keep it in the hunt, at least, Haley Steinfeld for Sinners. Weapons is more and more possibly coming a contender, and the more buzz I'm hearing about sentimental value, the more that might be getting in. Plus, there's also the idea of Glenn Close is probably going to chew scenery, so that's probably an opportunity to go as well. But yeah, I think we had official word that Blunt is supporting rather than leading, which is key because you'll notice there's one name that I didn't mention that was in supporting last month because clarification has occurred. Slash, I guess people have seen the trailer, maybe. So we'll get to her in a couple of picks time.
It's good that you know what you're talking about because I certainly don't. Trying to figure out placement is a nightmare. Just like the fact that for the rest of these predictions, I had to change a lot of things. My best supporting actress lineup, I had to drop I would never eat because of the, like AJ mentioned, the colossal crash and burn that happened with After the Hunt. I think I shoot dropped it out of every category. I may live to regret that. I may not. Probably won't at this point. And I switch one veteran performance for another because after seeing the trailer, I feel more happy with one performance, even though I know absolutely nothing about Jay Kelly at this point. So I had to bump Laura Dern out. But my best supporting actress lineup continues to be Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine, Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme, and joining my supporting actress lineup is Teyana Taylor for One Battle After Another.
Interesting.
The reason I did that, you'll find out in a couple categories.
Okay. I love, just a couple of comments. I love that you guys are going for Blunt. I hope we can see a second nomination. That would be fantastic. Benny Safdie would be her good luck charm, it would turn out. Yeah, I keep eyeing Glenn Close.
Yeah,
and I feel like I should be eyeing her more, and that would be her chewing the scenery in a Knives Out movie. That just sounds amazing. I want it now. December's very far away. Okay, so here's what happened with supporting actor. I I was really I was really upset last time because I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. Oh my God, I hate how hard this is. Um, it was shockingly easy this time.
yeah.
As soon as I figured out who to take out, it was like, oh shit, this is because there's somebody I actually forgot I put in here. I forgot I had Garfield in. I was like, oh, there's a slot right there. And secondly, there was a movie I went all in on last time. And just based on circumstances, I have to drop it entirely. And there's not a single trace of it left, and I put it in half the categories last time. I still think it's going to get good notices overall, because it kind of already has. I had to drop my Kiss of the Spider-Woman thing. I was really on that. I had Diego Luna in here. I had it, but just things started happening, and it's the one that got pushed out. So I have completely cooled off on my Kiss of the Spider-Woman thing, and that left me with two slots. One, I knew exactly who was going in because I didn't have them before, and the other one is me sort of getting validated from something I said in the last video, even though I didn't go with it, but I said it, so it was there, so it counts.
Does count.
So I recall maybe this was a talking point, but I don't remember it being one. I feel like I hadn't heard anybody else say it when I was saying, oh, I think everybody has Paul Mescal in leading, but I can see him going in supporting. I could see them sort of frauding him into supporting. And then I left it at that. So it seems like that's the thing now, is that Paul Mescal's supporting for Hamnet.
I think
Okay.
he is, yeah.
All right.
Thankfully.
Because I'm going Paul Mescal in Hamnet. As well as somebody I did not have in last time, because I don't think his buzz had really broken out yet.
No.
I don't even know if the movie had been seen actually, but when we did our last video. Sean Penn, of course. Sean Penn at his most unhinged, and holy shit, is that saying something? So, and three people I had before: Adam Sandler, Stellan Skarsgård, and I'm gonna stick with Jeremy Strong, even if well, no, I guess I didn't completely cool off on Deliver Me from Nowhere, but we'll talk about Deliver Me from Nowhere later. But yeah, I have Paul Mescal, Sean Penn, Adam Sandler, Stellan Skarsgård, Jeremy Strong. And I don't know that I have anything to really add to that. I mean, we could wax poetic about Penn for a while. I assume he's going to get brought up again. So, so that's what I have.
Yeah, reluctantly I've removed Mark Hamill and Delroy Lindo because my five now are Bradley Cooper for Is This Thing On, Josh O'Connor for Wake Up Dead Man, No Knives Out Mystery, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, but I'm really on the fence as to whether him or Del Toro might be here. Penn, I think, is way more sort of 11. Don't get me wrong, Del Toro's sort of about an A. But if anything, Penn probably is more likely. And then the other two remain Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly and Jeremy Strong for Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. Yeah. The only one that I feel is there just because of their name is Bradley Cooper. Because it's like, someday he'll win it.
He's a blink if you miss it in the trailer.
Yeah, but if you weren't paying attention, he was a blink till you miss it in Licorice Pizza, and arguably his stuff stole Licorice Pizza from even Cooper Hoffman in that. So, yeah, that's one. Mescal is one that Mescal is not in my list because I don't know where to put him yet. And until I get actual sort of clarification officially, because I haven't seen anything sort of like for your consideration stuff yet. Probably because Hamnet isn't out yet. When we get closer to the time, we'll probably get the buzz with that in terms of which categories it is that it will be considered for. But yeah, and that doesn't even include the sentimental value and the other people that might show up. Now, maybe Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, depending what happens with that. But yeah, those are my five.
There's potential for this to be an amazing lineup. I also love the idea of Josh O'Connor getting buzz because even though it's only 3 movies, we are long overdue for an acting nomination for a Knives Out movie already.
Accurate.
Janelle Monáe should have happened. Ana de Armas honestly should have happened for the first movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I'm just trying to quickly double check if it would this be Penn's first nomination since Milk?
That has to be right. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So, yeah, this is when I start like eating the crow. I knew it was going to happen. So, full disclosure, obviously, no one's seen Hamnet, and I obviously have not seen Hamnet if no one else has. So that tells me that I was very reluctant to include it in my predictions because, well, I mean, you got your reasons, I guess. It's like, I feel like these 5 make sense. Oh, wait a minute, there's this other movie too. And that's what it is every single season. Again, it's only September, and a lot of things could change. And this could be a year where everything stays the same. You never know. It could go either way.
Just be thankful you're actually getting it in 2025. We've got to wait till January for Hamnet. Damn it, Hamnet, Janet, Planet.
Yes.
Oh God. But that means that I had to do a little switch for when it comes to my predictions, which means that although it is easily one of the best performances of the year that no one saw, John Leguizamo had to be dropped out. I said I'd keep it in there as long as I could. This race is way too crazy, and we don't even know all the contenders yet. So yes, that's changed. And after the hunt, yeah, done the party. So Garfield got dropped. So I had to jump upon the bandwagon and just easily say this word. I have the exact same lineup AJ does.
Oh.
Paul Mescal for Hamnet, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly, Skellen Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, and Jeremy Strong for Deliver Me From Nowhere.
All right. And just a quick note about Penn. It was one of those things where you hear that somebody has buzz, because I've been hearing like Penn steals the movie, and so when a performance like that has buzz, you kind of got it in your head of, all right, let's see what this is. Like, okay, what do you got?
Sure.
And sometimes it takes a bit. Like sometimes it can just seem like a normal performance, and you're like, all right, but where's the nomination worthy bit come in? And then they'll have a big scene, and you'll be like, oh, there it is. And that's usually what ends up getting buzz.
Right.
Like Isabella Rossellini last year. Where it was
Certainly.
like everybody waited for the moment where she told John Lithgow to fuck off.
Yes.
One Battle After Another begins. It's the very first scene of the movie. And Teyana Taylor walks in and sees Penn there. And it probably took 2 seconds where I was like, I get it. It's like he's doing something. He has made many choices going into this character. And it's messily beautiful. So if you haven't seen it yet, enjoy that when it's in your life. So, are we on to actress?
We are definitely on the actress.
I begrudgingly made one change.
I had to make two, but one of them makes more sense than the other one does.
Yeah, you already told me something, and I wanted to do the same, but because somebody else came in here, little Miss Oscar came in here. So I still have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rick Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Renata Rensva for Sentimental Value, and I did have Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love, thinking she'd be the one lone nomination for that movie, and it was something that would be undeniable enough that she'd be able to sneak in. And the fact that she's Jennifer Lawrence doesn't hurt. But as soon as Begonia started getting all that praise, it was like, well, I guess Emma Stone's here then. So it's Emma Stone in a Lanthimos movie. So I'd say she's probably just fine in this race, assuming that she's leading. It sounds like we're still fuzzy on that, but that's where I've got her right now.
It would help me if she was supporting. It would help my predictions.
Well, if enough Academy members think the same, they'll put her there anyway. Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, yeah. Forever your example.
So yeah, I have nothing to really add to that. I just replaced Jennifer Lawrence with Emma Stone. It's a very safe 5. I feel like it's too obvious, but I don't know what else to do. So that's what I'm doing right now because it's only September.
Yes.
Yeah, the only change I've done is taken Sally Hawkins out and brought Emma Stone from supporting because it looks like she's way more the lead in this one. Because from everything I've seen, the role that she's playing, the CEO sort of character, is more of a supporting role in the original one. So clearly, that's probably where they've, I'm guessing, made some changes to sort of make her more more of a co-lead, opposite. Oh, what's his name? The guy that's in everything.
Jesse Plemons.
The guy that is the only thing I remember now from Civil War because he was that good for those 4 minutes.
Jesse Plemons.
So yeah, I still have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Symphony of Evo for Wicked for Good, Julia Roberts for After the Hunt, but spoilers, that's all you're getting from after the hunt now because I wasn't really sure yet who to put in, along with Amanda Seyfried for Testament of Anne Lee and Emma Stone for Begonia. Because yeah, Burns in with a shout. Ferguson possibly, considering what I've heard about House of Dynamite. Um, maybe Sydney Sweeney if Christie gets the attention that it might do. We'll have to see. But yeah, those are what I'm going with for now.
I have what might be a stupid question.
Hmm.
Do we know if it's begonia or begonia? I've just been guessing, honestly.
Uh,
Well, in Greek, which I'm reading it right now, which I figured there was going to be a question about this for some reason. I don't know why. It's begonia, which is an ancient Mediterranean ritual or belief that bees spontaneously generate from the carcasses of dead animals.
That sounds like Lanthimos. We'll go with that.
yeah,
Million percent.
I mean, to some extent, it less sounds like Lanthimos. It sounds more like Dario Argento. It's like it screams Suspiria esque.
It's very relevant later this month. Keep that in mind. Um, so yeah, Emma Stone hangs out here, and not on my list. Not that I don't want her in here, and obviously I do have a lot of hope for Begonia. Jesse Plemons is somebody that I feel is getting a lot of buzz too that I did not go for. Um, and Lanthimos in general, it just like could go either way. Again, September. So I alluded to something earlier, and I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, and I'm sure you are. Julia Roberts has been 86 from my list because I finally got on the again. I'm on the Hamnet bus now. So Jesse Buckley has moved into my list finally. Joining Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good, Renata Reinsev for Sentimental Value, and yes, as weird as it is to think about a Jennifer Lawrence performance, I've seen the trailer for, which at least is something, which is I've seen that, which is more than nothing. She's been bumped out because I think there is a lot to be said with what AJ mentioned earlier. And this was a thought process I had for a while, especially once I realized the jig was up pretty much right after she came on the screen. And she didn't go away. And she basically took the movie over for all intents and purposes. My fifth slot is Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another.
Okay.
I think that there is enough of a narrative that they could push a Taylor, or even if they want to go with Regina King because of like name value and performance and everything. I'm tired, literally. But yeah, Regina Hall got a lot of buzz earlier on, right before the Taylor stuff started, and now it's like Chase Infinity's got a lot of buzz now too. Being her first movie and being able to hang with Hollywood heavyweights is commendable and spectacular in its own right. Like Cooper Hoffman, 100%.
Yeah.
Like a female Cooper Hoffman, and she steals every scene she's in, and she has a point to her character, and I feel that there is a reason to believe that if they go all in on One Battle After Another, she's going to join, and it's not just going to be a hanger-on nomination. It's going to be something very deserved. So I want to get on the ground floor of this. So I am saying her in September.
I'm wondering as long if she can get a deal signed for some major film other than the work she's doing for Hulu's Testaments thing. I wonder if she might be in with a shout for BAFTA Rising Star.
I say that's a very good possibility. I would see no
Um,
reason why she wouldn't be.
yeah, it always feels like the people that they do try and go with, if they're international, they need something else sort of on their resume upcoming, which is sort of proving that their performance in the film that is getting them the recognition for 2025 is why they're sort of getting the gigs in 26. So, and or beyond. But so you know, if you're her agent, get her on a good project soon, and she might be getting a trip to London to win a blue mask or whatever it is color that they decide to make it this time around. I think it probably still blue if it's the same mobile sponsor.
Okay. Um, this is this is a little complicated, so I decided to uncomplicate it. So I had Tonatiuh in for Kiss of the Spider Woman because the equation added up in so many ways
Sure.
compared to Jennifer Hudson and Dreamgirls. Is doing William Hurt's role that he won for, and it's obviously going to be big. But like I said, I just dropped Kiss of the Spider Woman because it's just too competitive. So now that I have an empty slot, I could probably make 3 changes to what I had before.
Hmm.
I only made one. I just put somebody in the one empty slot. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because here's what happened. I'll say what they are and then I'll say why. Chalamet, yeah. I'm still going with Clooney. Okay. DiCaprio, I didn't have him before because I didn't really go for one battle after another. But sir, I am now. I kept Colin Farrell for Ballad of a Small Player, which is probably the one thing people are going to tell me I shouldn't do. And Jeremy Allen White, of course. So we've got Dwayne Johnson hanging out here. We've got Jesse Plemons hanging out here. We've got Michael B. Jordan hanging out here. But we talked about maybe Wagner Mora's kind of hanging out a little bit off to the side. But do you remember what I just said about actress? Where I looked at my 5 in actress and I was like, I feel like that's too safe, but I'm just going to leave it anyway. I felt like putting Dwayne Johnson in Farrell's spot, but when I saw that lineup of 5, I thought it was way too safe. It was too safe to the point that I felt like I had to do something about it. So that's why I said, fuck it, Colin Farrell, you get to stay. And I'll say that Dwayne Johnson will have a lot of media behind it, but it'll ultimately be one of those things where it's like, it's a snub that happens, and people are like, oh my God, can you believe after all this that snub happened? Oh my God, we're so shocked. It's the most shocking thing that's ever happened in the history of the fucking world. Sort of like Margot Robbie getting snubbed for Barbie, even though all of us saw it coming. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm gonna run with this Colin Farrell thing until we get more Ballad of a Small Player information. To my understanding, the screenings have gone pretty well, and people say that he's quite worthy to get in here. People that have seen it. So that's kind of my swing for the fences to make sure I'm not being too safe, which is what I probably should have done in actress, but fuck it. There's only so much.
So, for the time being, I've moved out Clooney, and probably for depending how people feel about it, I've moved out Daniel Day Lewis because I think that's sort of probably a good performance, but sort of maybe he just came out to help his. Well, I guess he did co-write the script, but so my 5 is DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Brendan Fraser for Rental Family, Dwayne Johnson for Smashing Machine, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and I've now moved in along with Dwayne, I think, Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen. Um, of which I still am not, comfortable with, because I feel like there's even a chance that Lee Byung Hyun might make it in here for No Other Choice, because I feel like there's a chance that there's a following on from what we got last year with the actress stuff. I wonder if an international acting nod is also going to happen here, and more is certainly in with a shout, but I wonder whether, if No Other Choice really does sort of catch on, whether there's a chance with that. Or I guess maybe Tona Tiu, because I'm not aware of what nationality they are. But yes, that's what I'm going with for now. Oh, he is American. There we go.
You can be too safe, but sometimes that's the right answer. And looking at this 5, I don't see any other. There obviously are other options. We've talked about several of them, and there's several of them we haven't even discussed yet. But I like this 5 so much, it's going to be hard to let go of it. That being said, I had to bump out Michael B. Jordan here, because I didn't have good old Bob Ferguson in my lineup originally. So this 5, I love this lineup so much. I got Chalamet, Clooney, DeCap, Dwayne, and Jeremy Allen White. I love that 5 so much. To me, it's hard. It'll be very hard to step away from it.
I was just trying to remember what Bob's other 2 names were, and I can't remember.
Ghetto Pat and Rocket Man.
Yes.
I literally saw it 2 times in a row yesterday, so yes. Stuck in my head.
Are we ready for director?
Oh, this is going to be an interesting conversation to have.
I made 3 motherfucking changes.
2.
I don't remember the last time I made that many changes between videos in one category. So the 3 people I had in that are no longer in are, I got off my Kiss the Spider-Woman thing, so I took Bill Condon out. I went a bit harder on Wicked, and I was saying John M. Chu. I went ahead and took him out. And I had Josh Safdie in for Marty Supreme, and I had to take him out. Again, it's so fucking annoying that we don't know anything about Marty Supreme, and we won't have any screenings to go off of until it's out, to our understanding. I think we figured that out in our last Q&A video.
Right.
That it is just not being seen until it comes out on Christmas. So, 2 directors are now in the mix with extremely acclaimed movies, and they are 2 directors where when the Academy goes for them, the Academy goes for them. So I had to somehow squeeze both of them in, and then an obvious choice that I said I was close to putting in last time and didn't seems to be undeniably here now. No, scratch the undeniably, because that's dangerous, but seems to have a very good chance of being here.
Wise wording.
But again, asterisk at the top here. I said it before and I'll say it again. As long as Avatar is a thing, Cameron is not off my radar. I don't have him in, but he's right here, just in case. So, if you can do the math, you've probably figured out that I have Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Yorgos Lanthimos, Joachim Trier, and Chloe Zhao. I think I was calling him Trier last time. I'm pretty sure it's Trier. So, there's that. I like to get the pronunciations when I can. I don't know how else. I don't know. Yeah, the only explanation I really have is when they go for PTA, they really go for PTA. When they go for Lanthimos, they really go. And if they're going to go one battle after another in Begonia, I'm going to assume they're both here. So, Yeah.
For my director list, out goes Kaczynski and Guadagnino, and certainly in goes Zhao after Hamnet was well enough received that I guess there's your quote unquote token female possible slot. But along with her, I have PTA for One Battle After Another, Bound for Jay Kelly, Kugler I'm keeping in there for Sinners because let's make it happen, and Del Toro's Frankenstein. But again, that's sort of there's enough of a list behind it where I'm like, yeah, Tria's got a chance. Either of the Safdies, possibly. Lanthimos, Cooper. Maybe they throw something to Chew as well, depending how Wicked for Good gets received in a few months. So, and maybe Bradley Cooper because Bradley Cooper. But
yeah, I had to make a few changes. One of which seems kind of a gamble, and the other one seems obvious. Luca's gone. I mean, makes sense. And Trier's gone. Because I didn't have the documentary award-winning director of Nomadland in my lineup through gritted teeth. So yeah, I didn't really change much except for those two. So yeah, joining Benny Safdie for The Smashing Machine and Ryan Coogler for Sinners and John M. Chu for Wicked for Good. Yes, we have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet and PTA for One Battle After Another.
That'd be a pretty wild lineup. I'd be really curious.
Maybe I'm putting more like stock in The Smashing Machine. It could end up being Foxcatcher. And I'm not just saying it because of its combat sports background of both movies. And the fact that Kurt Angle is basically in both of them. So needless to say, that's the only one I'm really like not sure about. I'll know Monday. Because after a weekend of Taylor Swift, I'm literally going straight to The Smashing Machine on Monday. So I'm very excited to finally see it.
All right. We ready to end this?
Yes.
Okay, I made 2 changes. Again, I really cooled off on Kiss of the Spider-Woman. I took it out everywhere I had it.
Same here.
With 1 slot open. And because of, I'm going to regret this, I'm sure, because of fucking goddamn a complete unknown. But I took out Deliver Me From Nowhere. Even though, like I said, I know the musical biopic with the Academy is not dead.
Mm-mm.
I shouldn't do that. But again, there were 2 movies I didn't go for last time. Begonia and One Battle After Another. I thought they were going to underperform or not show up at all. I was comparing One Battle After Another to Inherent Vice, saying it'll get adapted and that'll be it. Before we knew what we know now.
Mm.
So those go in, and I have my 10. So, like I said, people can complain all they want and bet against it all they want, but as long as Avatar is a thing, I am going to predict it to get a slot, even if it's at the bottom. I have Avatar, as well as Begonia, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Jay Kelly, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Wicked. That picture lineup is the most confidence I have in anything I've said in this whole video. Not that I think it's perfect or won't change, but it's the one I feel most confident in right now. Is that 10 sounds good to me.
Yeah. I guess not good if you're the letter A, because I've moved Avatar out for the time being, and I've moved After the Hunt out. Um, just to sort of get the list circulating with multiple things before I get more confidence. So my current 10 are Frankenstein, Hamnet, J. Kelly, One Battle After Another, Rental Family, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Smashing Machines, Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, and Wicked for Good. Um, House of Dynamite is one that I was thinking of, but I felt free Netflix films would be not Netflix's approach. um, they don't want to juggle too many things, because arguably Warner Brothers' main push probably is going to be PTA, and Sinners I think will just have the momentum for being what it is. God forbid we actually get a pleasant surprise and Weapons makes it in here.
I would love that.
We'll have to see whether we actually get any decent, or other decent sort of horror films like that. Especially after what seems to be the miss that was him.
Oh God, don't
And
get me started on that.
well, the fact that we know that Weapons is the script that Peel basically fired his agent for because they didn't pick up Weapons. And it makes you wonder, maybe he had a point. um, but yeah, it's sort of in order to sort of work it out as well. I was trying to sort of not get because your two Universals are what Hamnet and Wicked for Good, because Focus is Universal, and then Springsteen and I guess Rental Family, and I don't know whether Neon can juggle two as well, because Neon usually just really go for one, and I guess that's probably their move rather than what should be Life of Chuck, but the fact that also Just an Accident might make it in here. That it's the one I haven't put it in yet, but if anything's going to be the foreign film that the foreign, like Thomas the Tank Engine, the foreign film that could, I feel it's Just an Accident probably is the opportunity for it to. But so those are my 10 so far.
Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty obvious that After the Hunt disappeared for Hamnet, so that's pretty much the only change I had to make. Best Picture lineup is Begonia, Hamnet, J. Kelly, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, Deliver Me From Nowhere, and Wicked for Good.
Is that it?
That is definitely it.
Yeah.
All right.
Looking at what we have got coming this month, it probably won't make it in the award things because the reviews seem to be mixed. But we've got Shane Black's first film since Predator, with Mark Wahlberg and Lakeith Stanfield as well, among quite a
Mark
few other.
Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg as Parker.
Yes.
It's another take on the Hunter.
Yeah. And then later on in the week we've got Slashing Machine and Emily, which we'll only find out whether it's good if Sean Bean dies, because you have to follow the rule. Then alongside the big release of Tron Ares, we've got Roofman After the Hunt, Kiss of the Spider Woman, and House of Dynamite. And also, because it's further down, I guess, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You as well. Coming out, at least in limited, if not wide release then.
It was it's coming out limited and then it's going wider on the 24th.
Yeah, because I think House of Dynamite's getting some screenings over here this coming week, the 3rd. Not anywhere near me, but I know America, it's the 10th, and then it goes on Netflix, I think 24th. Then we got Ballad of a Small Player, roughly the same week as Black Phone 2, Good Fortune, which I'm seeing a lot of trailers for that through watching Twitch, and it looks promising, but at the same time, the fact that I'm seeing it so much, I'm concerned.
It's
And
good. It's
again,
very
it's
dry.
Lionsgate, so why shouldn't I be surprised? You were saying, Owen?
It's very dry humor from my friend who watched it last night.
Okay.
I hate him being able to see it before me since I'm the Aziz mark, but
then we've also got Del Toro's Frankenstein that week. Netflix animations of the Twits, which could be in with a shout of possibly making it into animated. Although Netflix is pushed. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Netflix technically; it'd be Sony with K-pop Demon Hunters. That might be the thing that gets the most momentum. We'll see. And then also Linklater's Blue Moon as well is out that week, along with a film that's apparently called Fuck My Son. With a name like that, of course it's comedy horror. Then penultimate week in October, we've got Amazon's Header adaptation, as well as the Hulu Hand That Rocks the Cradle. But then, wow, Springsteen, Begonia, Shelby Oaks, as well. And then right for Halloween, the perfect Halloween film, Nouvelle Vague, because what's more scary than black and white 60s French films?
By a guy from Texas, no less.
Yeah, who's got a movie out 2 weeks before as well, because he wants all the film. So yeah, that's a pretty big list in itself. That's all US releases. I don't know whether they're coming out over here. I doubt Fuck My Son is, because that would be a good thing to put on the ticket. Probably be F star star star, I'm guessing. And then,
oh,
of
you mean
course,
like Meet the Family?
And then, of course, the thing that didn't get mentioned, because I guess it's not a movie, but it is. The Showgirl event.
You
Where,
damn
of
well
course,
know
the
it.
tickets once again are 12.12 because we've run out of that idea from the concert 2 years ago.
It was $1 more expensive for AMC than it was to go through Cinemark and Regal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think practically every cinema, even the art house cinema, is doing it.
That is a correct statement.
Which, fair play. I'm just wondering how full some of these are. I'll have to look into it. See how well it is doing. I mean, I'm not surprised if it does well. It'd be great when we get to the box office and that's the biggest film of the week. But knowing fandom, so to some extent, Smashing Machine might be fucked by Taylor Swift. Damn you, Taylor!
There is nothing wrong with that statement. It's out for 3 days. Let it have its box office, and then Smashing Machine can take over.
I mean, supposedly that was for the concert, and then the fact that they're doing, my local multiplex is doing an entire screening of the Mission Impossible franchise in November, and I'm like, why? But yeah, with that, we are done.
Yes.
Congregating again late October, where hopefully, we'll have seen a fair few of those movies, although some of them will probably be early November because there'll be Netflix or whatever releases instead. But yeah, in terms of other stuff here on the channel, you got plenty from AJ for the month. And then
Yeah, if you stick around, you're probably going to be really sick of me. So enjoy that.
And then something also as a treat coming up at the end of the month as well for you to all enjoy. Somewhere in it will fit in this video as well. No, we'll also be back at some point next week. Time to be confirmed. Well, probably not. No, with Owen's schedule. So you probably won't be seeing us live until what?
November.
Yeah, first week in November.
Yeah, that seems to check out.
I know I've certainly
AJ will not be live on the month of October. He'll be Memorex.
And I have picked up a new Pepsi flavor, which is an intriguing one, and I think we'll put that up early November as well, as I think it's somewhat holiday themed. I don't know if it's a flavor that Owen's had yet. We'll discuss off air.
All right. AJ has a full calendar, like Ashley just alluded to, a bunch of new segments and a bunch of segments you loved. It's all going to be the month of October for AJ. Ashley content coming up soon. My content will be, I'll just basically just reveal it now. After AJ takes over the channel in October, we're going to, other than the sporadic reviews that pop up in November, we're going to have daily content for the rest of 2025 because I feel like I owe it to you guys, so I'm going to. So it's going to be sipping snacks and concert videos, Voices of Liberty, Ashley content, on top of the regularly scheduled AJ content we already have on the channel. Plus, I just keep putting stuff on private, and I need to, not, so. That's going to be your show. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. We will discuss this with our live chat sometime in November. So you have 2 shows to talk about. So there you go. There you go. Priceless. Horror Nights will be over, so I won't have to worry about that. And maybe I'll have a cool announcement to make. I guess you'll have to wait and find out. So in the meantime, I want to thank everyone for watching. Always remember to have the best day, or in this case, best month ever. Make sure you stream If Lyrics Were Confidential by Waterparks because they need all the streams you can get. And yeah, Life of a Showgirl comes out this Friday. Cannot wait. I will definitely be all sat in that movie theater for the 3 days. So then I get to Smashing Machine on Monday, so I'm super excited for that. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
We're going to need a bigger boat.